started. Yeah. Uh, yeah, we will see handling alerts and then how to handle the multiple windows. Greg, you asked about this right in the last session. We will do those two things. I'm not sure if we will have enough time because I want to finish the session a bit early today. So if we have enough time, we will start with synchronized waits, synchronized and the asynchronous waits, and then we'll finish it off in the next session and start the J unit in next session. Okay, probably Wednesday, and then this will take couple of sessions to do actually a proper automation project. Okay, so that you guys can see how to build a framework from the uh, if you given a website, how do you start about testing it, how do you build up a framework, how do you build up a test pack, test suite and everything. Okay, we'll use JUnit and then Selenium to do that one. Okay, pretty much most of you guys will be using it at the moment. I think I'm pretty sure OnCam uses it because I was involved in setting it up, and then most of the guys who do automation, right? Either they use JUnit or TestNG. Seeing JUnit, right, that will cover the TestNG as well, because the reason is like now TestNG is like it's like C and C++. It's just all the features of JUnit is available in the TestNG. Additional features are there in the TestNG which you may or may not use, but uh, in OnCam I can give an example. We used TestNG because there was a specific functionality was not available in JUnit. That's why we used TestNG. I'll tell you what was a feature in the TestNG. When you run the test cases, right? We had multiple modules, and then there were multiple test cases in each modules. When we ran it, right, there is no JUnit. Everything runs in a sequential order. Uh, that is well and good actually, but the thing was like no, for us what we wanted was like no, we wanted a run one test from one module first and then go to the next module to run second test and then come back to the first module and run the test, the second test. It's like that. Okay, we wanted to decide what was the order the test is going to run. There was no option of doing that in JUnit, but in the TestNG, the multiple test cases, right? You can set the how it is going to get executed. There is an option called as priority. So those kind of things, those kind of additional features are available in the TestNG, where you can. This is just an example. You can order the way of execution. That's not a direct way of doing it. That's not a. I mean, it's an indirect way. You can control the order of execution of test execution. Okay. In the JUnit, that feature was.
Do we use at priority for that, Bala, instead of at test?
No. Attest is must actually. Attest is an annotation to tell that is going to be a test. Priority, right?
Okay.
Priority just gives you information about the test actually. There are a lot of other annotations like priority, test name. Test name gives you the test name and then parameters, those kind of things.
Okay.
Attest is a
Okay.
if you want to say any test case means like no, you have to start with attest. Okay, that is a mandatory. You can't get rid of it. A
Okay.
priority is just if you give priority, right? A priority, what it means, literal meaning, what it means. Okay, whichever it comes from the lowest to highest. So lowest means it is the high priority one. Highest means it's the lowest priority. So you can do one,
Okay.
two, three, four, five, six. That means it will execute in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually.
Okay. Where do you specify this, Bala? In the test,
It's just
in the
above
class
the
itself?
just above the attest annotation itself actually. Uh,
Okay.
because I don't. Okay, I'll just show you guys here because that's it. Okay. So this is how you do. Usually you do this art test. You just do art test, right? You can see the screen, right? The screen, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just do this art test, right? All you have to do is like no, this is what they call it as parameters. You can have multiple parameters. You can put comma test name. You can pass a lot of informations to the test case. Okay. So if you put this priority, right, that's an inbuilt testng feature. So what it means is like now this test will get executed first and this will second, this is third. Okay. If you
Okay.
change order 2, 1, 3 means this will execute at first. Okay, but in the JUnit, right, you can't control that. Always this will be going to be the first executed test case because it
Okay.
comes in an order. Okay,
Okay.
so that kind of issue was there in the in the JUnit. We want. I will tell you I vaguely remember the functionality names because why it was like now we want to find all the cameras in the network and then we wanted to add that camera into the user account, something like that actually. Some Because of that, I don't remember, I completely forgot the on view project, but that was the reason actually. So once you find all the cameras, you have to add it to the user account and then perform some and then if you want to delete the you have to delete the cameras and then see what happens in the user account. It's these kind of test cases we were doing it actually at that time. So for that purpose, right, one module will have one test case, another module will have the second test case, and then you have to go back and forth and do it actually. Basically, I just want what I wanted to explain. Why I'm covering JUnit, right? Because JUnit was is much older than the TestNG, and then pretty much everyone uses JUnit. I mean, not everyone. I mean, whoever started with the test framework, right? JUnit they would have used, and then if they started now means like based on the requirement they might use TestNG. But JUnit is like if you learn JUnit, right, you will get all the basics actually. So
Okay.
that's the reason I wanted to do JUnit. Pretty much, I mean, because I mean these kind of very internal features, right? No one will ask you actually. This you can hunt it down and then learn it actually. At the time comes when the requirement comes, right? You can just hunt down what you want. Because I didn't know anything about the priority. How I found out is like, I said that I wanted to, sequentially control the order of the text execution, and then a lot of options came up and I chose this was the best option. Pretty much you guys also will do the exact same thing when you come to the testing, because obviously let's be honest, we can't learn everything. These all pretty most of the things, right, like we will learn according to the requirement or else need to know basis. Okay, so those kind of things. So if you just need to know the basics very strongly. Once you know the basics very strongly, right, all these extra features which is going to be used occasionally, you will learn it. Okay, so it's like exactly, it's like the Firefox options I told you guys in the starting. But you can use the cache. You can pretty much use anything, you do anything you want. Again with the Selenium also, like we are it's like, say for example there is 100% means like 60% of the things which is going to be used most commonly every time, and then there is like 20% which will be used occasionally, and there is 10% which will be used very rarely. We are not going to see the 10%. We will be covering pretty much the 80% of, sorry, 80 to 85% of the Selenium, because there is another big portion called as executing the whatever we are doing, right. We can write our own JavaScript and execute in Selenium. Those kind of things, right. Now once you become like a cross from amateur Selenium programmer to medium, and then if you go to advanced Selenium programmer, right, you need to learn those things actually. But yeah, you don't need to do anything now, because there will be sometimes a requirement comes which is so corny or so hard to do. You have to use JavaScript to do it, which is, I mean to say, Selenium hasn't given any option for you to carry out the functionality. Means like, no, your only option is going to the JavaScript. I will just show you guys quickly intro into what I'm talking about actually. uh, uh, what I'm talking about, so that like, just keep that in back of your mind. When at someday when you come across something what you want to do in a browser, but there is a Selenium inbuilt option like this find XPath or anything. The Selenium hasn't given any option for you to do that functionality. Means like, carry out the functionality, means like, you have to use JavaScript. All my programming, all my UI automation, right, I've come across only like once or twice. I mean, when I say once or twice means like, very very corner. It's like it's to play a video file on the website, and then to get the length of the video file, right. To that level of information I couldn't get it using. There was no Selenium option to do it, so I have to write a JavaScript code to execute it and then get that information actually. So obviously you're not going to do those kind of such a low level automation anytime soon actually. So that's why I don't want you guys to get involved into that one at this time. Just work on, all the things whatever we learn, these basic things actually. Once you get strong with that, right, then venture into those kind of areas. Okay. um, yeah, I just wanted to do this quickly. Okay, let's get started with the session actually. I think that's it. I think okay. Okay, let's see. But all these things are really easy actually. Handling alerts and handling window, so like, it's really simple. And then synchronization is also pretty simple actually. Okay, first let's see what is handling alerts. Okay, basically, I had some examples. Yeah, this. that had a website actually. No, I just want to, yeah, here it is. Yeah. Okay. So submit. You see the window, right? This is what alert means. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this alert means. Okay. So you may want to sometimes simulate actions on this one, whether you may want to get the text in it and then click OK or cancel. Click cancel button. This kind of operations you have to do. Okay, this is the most common kind of alert you will see. Okay, if you press OK, it will go to the next page, and then yeah, it is giving you a success page. Okay, successfully. And then in, say for example, in forms, right, if you type wrong password or something like that, you get alerts sometime, right? Most of the time, I mean, 90% of the time alerts will be just an information. When I say information in the sense like, no, it's just passing on to your message saying that, okay, this is what's going to happen, whether you want to do it or not. Okay, confirmation works. But at some rare occasions, right, I'm not sure if you have seen it actually, sometimes it will ask for information to manually type it in. I don't have an example for that one. Probably in the next session or something, I will try to write a HTML code to get that one. Okay, 1 second, wait. Okay, it's not a right time to do it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll talk. If we have time, we will do that also today. Okay, so alert is just to give you confirmation saying that whether you want to do it or not. Okay, and then or else sometimes it just gives you information what's going to happen next. Okay, so say for example you want to delete a customer and then you click submit, and then because it is a delete command, so it is just asking for a confirmation you still want to do it actually. Okay, I click OK, and then it just gives the information to me saying that yes, I have successfully deleted, so click OK. Okay, now let's see how to handle this alert thing. Okay, let's go back here. Actions, in small ones. Okay, let's see there. I don't need any of this bit. Okay, I want to go here. Okay, and then I want to click this button, so let's get back to the aspect. Control F. Yeah, I think I've been confusing Mac users. It's not Control F, it's Command F actually. Okay, I'm not sure what is this in Windows. Okay, if you're a Mac user, it is Command F to get this XPath window. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we want to enter some values here. Okay, so that's submit, and then it has got a name itself as submit. Okay, that's fine. And then this is the this text box is okay, name is course ID, and then okay, so this is the text box where we want to enter value, and then this is the text box where we need to click. So this is the button which we need to click. Let's see what happens if we press. Okay, it's poorly designed, but that's fine. Okay, that's not our problem. Okay, so this is where we have to enter value, and then this is the button we have to click. Okay, so let's do that fast. Okay, again I'm going to do it by XPath itself. Also I can use name itself. Okay, let's do it by XPath itself. Okay, so you guys can see. Oh yeah, I just want to quickly tell you guys this thing. Okay, so you see this, right? If I one second, I'll just do that. Okay, so I'm not talking about alert at the moment. I just want to give you one small information. Okay, so these two are exactly the same thing. Okay, because the object you are creating is the same object, but the holding is the holding reference, right? It is different. Okay, this is you have created an object for Firefox driver, and then you are holding in a Firefox driver reference itself. But here, right, as I told you guys in the previous session itself, right, any child class object can be held in the object parent class reference. Okay, so if you look at the Firefox driver, right, it will be remote web driver, and then if you go inside remote web, let me go back. Okay, Firefox driver, remote web driver. Okay, if you see that, right, Firefox driver is a child of the remote web driver. Web driver is a child of the web. Remote web driver is a child of the web driver. Okay, so what it means is like, no, a web driver reference can hold the Firefox driver object. Okay, so that's what I am doing here. But if you do that, right, if I type, this is just a reference by the parent class. Okay, so if I do this, right, I can't use find element by XPath directly. So I have to do this. I have to do this, and then find XPath. Okay, but this is one way of doing it. But if I use the direct reference, right, what is the advantage is we do driver dot, right, see the find element by, there is a function itself called find element by XPath. Okay, this is the only difference for using the parent class and the child class reference. Okay, so it is better to use that reference directly, but in many of the existing projects, right, they would have done it in this way, so that, like, no, because this can hold Chrome driver, IE driver, all the drivers this reference can. Okay, because Firefox driver can hold only Firefox driver object. Okay, so that in any of the existing project, if you get confused why you are not getting this find element by XPath option, right, it is because if you look at the reference, right, it will be of web driver. Okay, it will be a bit hard to process, but yeah, just go back to your if you have existing projects, right, go back and then type driver dot. Okay, and see if you are getting this find element by XPath option. If you get that, means like, no, and see what this driver is referring to. It will be definitely Firefox driver or Chrome driver. But if you don't get that option, right, if you just get if you just get find element, right, if you don't get any other options, right, then it means that it will be of type web driver. Okay, so I'm going to use directly the child class reference so that it will be easy for us to program. Okay, now let's do the program. Okay, so what we want to do is like, now what we're trying to find here. Okay, now so this is the text box. Okay, and the text box has got a attribute, and the attribute name is name, and the value is cursor ID. Okay, so I'm going to use an XPath to do that. Okay, like as usual, // it can start anywhere. I really don't care about the tag name. Okay, so I'm putting star, and then I want, what is the name is name. Okay, name, it's cursor ID. Okay. Okay, so what it does is like, no, it will search for an attribute for it will search for all the elements with any tag name, and then in all the tags, what it will do, in all the XML elements, what it will do is it will search for an attribute called as name, and then the name should have a value called as cursor ID. Okay, if that is there, it will give us the element. Okay, so let's call it as that's the text box input, right? Okay, let's call it as input, and let's do one thing for the button as well. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, we want to validate that our XPath, right? That's really important. Okay. Okay, so it's getting that, and then we'll do here itself. It's the same thing actually. So name, and there is something called a submit. Okay. Okay, so it is highlighting that. Okay, now so what we want to do is like, now we want to send some values to it. So send keys, let's say I'm just doing 1 2 3 4. Okay, this is the sequence I'm sending in, and then submit dot click. Okay, let's just confirm this triggers the same. Okay, let me okay, I'm just going to run it in the debug mode. Is it running or not? Let's do compiling. Okay. Okay, should send the elements on. Okay, so it has typed 1 2 3 4 here, so it's going to click now. Okay, so it's clicked. So we got the alert box. Okay, now we need a way to handle that alert box. It's really simple how to handle the alert box. I'm just going to stop everything. Okay, so driver dot. So as I told you guys before, right, this driver object which you create in the starting, right, that is your main, I mean to say, how do you say, usually in the test case, right, you will only create only that one once, the driver object, and the driver object will be shared across all the test cases. Okay, so that is how you should do, because this is a root element. Okay, using this only you can control your whole automation itself. Okay, this is the main object. Okay, so whenever you want to do anything related to the browser, right, you have to go back to this driver. Okay, so because here, if you, when you are sending the keys, right, okay, we are sending to something called as web element. How did you get that web element? From the driver. Okay, so this is indirectly pointing to the driver itself. Okay, so all the operations, whatever you see, right, it will pretty much lead back to driver, because that using the driver only, this driver object, right, that is the link between your code and then the browser. So how do the code refer to the browser is this, using this driver. Okay, so when you are doing any kind of browsing, right, all without the, I mean, when you want to do some browsing, means when you want to get some information from a website, right, you have to use the browser. So what is the link between you and then that website, the Google server, is this browser, right? It's exactly like that. Okay, the driver is the link between you, your automation code, and then the browser. Okay, so now the alert is also again living in the browser only. So how do you handle this? Driver dot okay, so it's as simple as this one. Okay, the name itself is pretty the path itself is self-explanatory. Okay, you have the driver. Remember the switch to, because this is switch to, right? What is switch to means? Switch to means it's okay, from the existing window switch me to some other window. That is what it means. Okay, using that we will be doing everything, the actual switching between the windows and switching between the tabs. All those things, for everything we will use this function itself. Okay, now we are doing alert. So if you do this, right, so driver switch to, and then if you put dot, right, lot of options will come, and then that one you have to choose alert. Okay, so what it will do is like now, because the browser, right, usually what will happen is like now, if there are multiple alerts, I've never seen that happening, but there is a possibility the user can create multiple alerts. What I mean by multiple alert is like now you're getting one alert, right? Imagine like there is like 50 alerts has come up. Okay, the single website has created 50 alerts by example. So how it will be handled is like now the topmost alert will be highlighted for you. Okay, when you do this, right, when you do switch to dot alert, right, what is the topmost alert which is visible to your eyes, right, that will be highlighted. Okay, and then if you do some action and that alert disappears, right, and then if you do the same thing again, then the next will come up. Okay, that is how it will happen. But don't worry about that functionality, because I've never seen that multiple alerts in a single operations happening. Okay, and then again, it's a wrong programming. You can raise a complaint if a developer does that. Means like no, that's a bad programming. Okay, you can't have because all the information should be accommodated into a single alert. Okay, you can't have multiple alerts in multiple layers. Okay, now so again, let me come back from the top. Okay, so once you submit the click, right, now I want to handle the alert. Okay, so driver dot switch to, I want to go to an alert. Okay, and then all the common operations, whatever you want to do. Okay, so what are the operations what you usually get? Either okay or cancel. Okay, that is what accept or dismiss. Okay, and then get text means like no, what is the what is this country? If you want to verify this, you want to assert that one. If you want to assert that function, that this textual this text which is available in the alert box, means like then you have to do the get text. And what is another option is send keys. That is very, again, I told you guys in the starting itself, that's a very rarely used alert box kind of box, where you type in information and then click OK. Okay, let's see how do you handle it. Okay, let's see first. Do cancel. What happens if we cancel? Nothing happens, right? Let's do the cancel first. Okay. Let's do it a bit differently. Okay. Okay. First I will do this in this way, and then I'll show you guys. Okay. So if I run this one. Okay, we are here. We have typed the value. We are ready to click the submit. Okay, so let me go ahead. Okay, we click the submit. This alert box has come. Okay, let's dismiss the alert. See, the alert has disappeared. Okay, so as simple as that. Let's accept the alert, and we know what's going to happen. We accept it. I'm just going to type the title, okay? Because so this is Delhi customer page, and once you click the submit, right? It goes here. Let's see what title we get after we click the do the accept. Okay. Because once we click accept, it will go to the next page up, and then again it is pointing to the same page. But in the real time, usually there will be another page, okay, with a different different title or different operation. Okay. Because all these are demo sites, okay, so don't worry about it. You can use it however you want. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay. Oh. Apparently this operation is wrong, that's why it came out of it. This one actually, let's see what's actually. Yeah, I think I knew what is, because the driver is pointing to the because there is no title here. What title means, like this delete customer is the title. Currently the focus is on this alert box actually. That's why when you how do I explain this? Okay. Imagine in your real time itself. Okay, so now you can see everything here. Okay, you can click this one if you want, and then you can read this one. Okay, but when you click the submit button, right, you can't do any of this one. Okay, you can't click or anything like that. Okay, for you it is visible. Okay, the Selenium, this one, this title and all is visible. But imagine you as a computer. Okay, so when I'm in this page, right, when I'm a computer, I can read all these things. Okay, once I click the submit button, the focus goes here, right? All these things are virtually unavailable for me. When I say virtually unavailable means, like, no, computer can't see it actually. Okay, computer can't see the title, computer can't see this buttons, only the driver can see this one. Okay, this alert box, this command. Okay, this alert box doesn't have any title at all. Okay, so that is the reason why you're getting why we are getting this error. Okay, because my mistake, I should have thought about this earlier. So, okay, I'm pretty sure that's what the driver did. Yeah, just comment out that option. I assume you guys understood what I was talking about, right? Okay, because when you click the submit button, right, what I'm trying to get is I'm trying to get this delete customer. Okay, so this text content, that's what the title is. Okay, but once you click the submit, right, this website itself is unavailable for you unless you do some action on the alert. You get rid of this alert. Until you get rid of this alert, right, you can't do any operation. Okay, so for you, even though for you it's visible, for the actual driver it won't be visible. Only thing for the driver it visible will be this one, because you are trying to do an operation, something on the page which has disappeared, okay, which is going to disappear, which is currently unavailable. Okay, so that's why that error was. Let's do the accept. Okay, I'm going to click the submit button. Okay, so now it's in this alert page. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to accept that alert. You know what's going to happen if you accept the alert, because it will say that there will be another text box saying that customer has successfully deleted. Okay, now let's see, because there is only one option here, okay, which means accept, obviously. Okay, let's see what happens if I do the dismiss. Okay, so to handle this alert box, again the same code, again driver.switch2.alert. Okay, let's do one first normal operation. I'll accept. Okay, it's like clicking this OK button. Okay, and then see what happens. Let's do line by line. Okay, in this page, now let's click the accept. Okay, we got the next page. Now click the accept again. Now we will come back to this page, which is everything is fine. This is what we expect. We have done all the operations. Let's try and do something. Okay, dismiss here. Okay. I am expecting it to throw an error, I think. Okay. Because I also haven't tried these programming. Come on, yeah. Okay. You guys understood what I'm trying to do, right? Okay. Because here there is an option of OK and cancel, accept or dismiss. The both are available. Okay. But in the next alert box, only accept is available. Okay, dismiss is not there. Let's see what happens. Dismiss happened. Okay. Yeah, it got dismissed. Okay, it got closed. Apparently, it didn't throw an exception. Okay. So I just wanted to see it. Okay. So apparently, what happens is like now, if you do this, can I do it using the browser? I don't think so. Okay. If I'm here, let me try and press escape. If it goes away. Oh yeah, it goes away. Okay, so it is possible in the directly for you, if it's physically for you to do it in the browser, right? Then the same option will be available in the driver as well. Okay, using our Selenium automation itself. But if the user has done something like disable the escape key, you can do those kind of things. Okay, you have to take some operation in this one. Okay, you have to do something means click only these two buttons. Usually there will be a cross button here. If you have seen the proper alert means in the website. Okay, if that is not there means like there must be, if they have if usually it is not there means like in the real websites, if the X button is not there, close button is not there, means it is for the reason they have disabled it. At that time that escape option also won't work. Okay, so in that circumstance it might throw an error. That's just something to keep in mind. So as of now, assume that even if the dismiss option is not there, it is not physically visible for you in the website, it is that operation will successfully execute. Okay, that is what the lesson here. Okay, so that's all to it. Okay, so these are the only two operations which you will do. It is okay. Yeah, I wanted to show you this the content of the if you want to assert that bit, right? It's exactly the same thing again. Switch to. Okay, so do you want to really do you really want to delete this customer? That's operation I am expecting. You see this? I can zoom it. Okay, do you really want to delete the customer? Okay, that's the content available. If you want to assert this, you can assert this one. Okay. So that's all to it actually. That's all the things what you will do with the alert. This is how you will handle alerts. Okay. So what you do is like you just type driver dot switch dot switch to dot alert, and then you will get all the options which you can do it on the alerts. Okay, dismiss, accept, get exit objects. Let's see. So these are the 4 operations which you can do on the alerts. Okay, we haven't seen this one around because I couldn't find a website which actually does this thing. Okay, but yeah. Okay, let's. Type this one first. Okay, so this is what the command. Available. Okay, which happens to okay. So under this you will have all the operations to handle the alert. Okay, you don't need anything more than this one. Okay, and then operations are accept and dismiss. Again here also, like no, I have used JavaScript. This is one of the places I told 1 or 2 times, right? This is one of the places. Alert is one of the places. In one of the times, right? What happened was like, I'll just give you an example. Okay, so there was like couple of additional buttons was available over here. Okay, and when I say additional button was like no, the alert was itself like no, it is to choose what you want, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing, and then whether you want to choose 1 or I can click option 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So there were multiple boxes were available, and then the Selenium was I couldn't handle that one using the Selenium itself directly. So what I had to do was like now I had to go to the JavaScript, okay, to handle it. But most of you guys, right, pretty much most commonly, right, this will be the alert box which you will use. Okay, again we got that dismissed, and then the alert box which I handled it, right. I told you guys, right, that got dismissed. I mean because it was in the code review that the architect decided that that's not the correct way of doing it, and then they included that in the form option itself. Okay, in the browser, in the Windows, the web browser itself, they have to enter the value rather than getting the value in the alert. Okay, so most of the time these are the most common things you will do handle it. If anytime a situation comes where you have to do some additional operation on the alert, right, on the alert or any kind of Selenium, or which is if you think the Selenium doesn't give you an option to do that functionality, means like no, then you have to do it via JavaScript. At the end of the session, at the end of the Selenium session, right, I'll just give you guys a small demo of how to do that one using the JavaScript. It's pretty simple, but the thing is like now you have to know JavaScript well actually to understand that one. Okay, so I'll show you some examples. Okay, you can without using all the Selenium operations you do here, right. Everything, okay, this navigate to this, get find element by export, everything, right. This thing the Selenium converts this find by web element into a JavaScript and then executes it on the browser. Okay, So what we have to do, if the Selenium doesn't govern option, means like no, what we have to do is like we have to write a JavaScript, our own JavaScript little bit, and then execute it on the browser. Okay, so that is what we have to do, because uh, JavaScript is bit not hard actually. The only use of it is a web development, and many people doesn't need to know that actually. So that is the reason Selenium became so famous, because the testers are not going to, when they want to do automation, they are not going to go and learn JavaScript. If they know Java, means like no, they don't want to learn JavaScript again separately. So that is why Selenium became so famous. They introduced a wrapper for all the JavaScript operations. Most of the common JavaScript operations is find by element, click, send keys, all those things. Okay, so if you learn Java, that is enough actually. So when you want to go like expert UI automation, right, you have to learn the JavaScript as well. Okay, then only you can really talk to the developer at their level actually. Okay, uh, usually developers are idiots and wrong. They are always so yeah, to understand them what are they talking about, right? You need to learn JavaScript actually. Okay, once you become once you want to become an expert. Okay. Okay, let's see how we do the handling. Again, it is also as simple as this handling alerts. Okay. Let's, okay, let's delete the model. I'll keep it. Okay. So I had a demo set for that also. Yeah, I think this one's not this one. Oh, yeah. There are three buttons. Okay, so when you click this, right, it's like new window. Okay, when I say new, you all guys know what is new window means. Okay, so new message window means like no, it's like how do you say, message window is, it's not exactly an alert actually. It's not an alert actually. It's a little bit advanced than alert. It is but how do you, what is the difference between the new browser window and new message window is, right? New browser window, that is independent of this one. If you click this one, right, that is independent of, this is one window, this is another window. Okay, this is not, there is no link between these two. When I say no link between this one, this is not a parent or child or something like that. So if you close this one, only this one close. Okay, but if you new message window is like no, this is like a child of this one. Okay, usually if you close this one, it should also disappear, but it doesn't. I don't know why, but usually it will disappear as well. So that is the main difference between the new window and then the window inside a window, because it is a child window of the existing window which has been shown here. Okay, and then the tab is, you all know what is tab means. If you click, why did it didn't open a new tab? Open in the same window. Yeah, okay, so it is opening a new tab. Okay, so that is what, so we are going to see all the three things. How do we handle it? It's exactly the same way. Once you learn this one, right, it's exactly the same way. How do you handle the new window or the browser tab or everything? Okay, so again, let's go back here, and then let's find, it's not open. Okay, now let's go back to this website. What we want to do is inspect. Okay, there is nothing else. Okay, let's do it by the content, new browser window. Okay. So we want to start from anywhere, and then I don't care about the tag. Again, I will do contains. This time I'm going to use text. What is the text that is visible to the user, and then the text should contain this new browser window. Okay, okay, let us validate this one. Okay, yeah, it is selecting that one. Okay, that's fine. And then what's this? It's a browser window. I'll change it now. Okay, let's change the options. So browser window, what's for the message window is, what is the content is, okay, this export also, so it's highlighting people. Message window. What is this? New browser tab. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. So let's click the browser window first. Okay. So I've clicked it. Now new browser would have been open. Okay. Sorry, new window would have been open. Okay. Let's first execute and see if this works. Okay, let's see. See, okay, new window has been open. Now just remember this one. How do we differentiate? Is like, no, because there is the title, right? It's the title is a new title is here. Here the title is free create automation something. Okay, that is how we are going to differentiate the two pages. Okay, let's see what's. Okay, see, okay. Yeah, see, that is the reason it is going. You see that, right? Initially it was demo practice page, and then it got changed to new title here. That's fine. Okay, now let's click the window. It's gone here. Now let's see. Okay, the new title is here. So what it means is like now it is still in this page itself. It has opened a window successfully, but it hasn't got, the focus is still on this page. Okay, it is not on this page. Now what you have to do is like, now if you want to go, most of the time, right, once you click the window, you have to go to this window and start to do some operations on this one, like entering a form or clicking this SC or anything like that. Okay, how do you do it? That's what we are going to see now. Okay, so once you click this one, the focus is still on this one itself. The driver is still pointing to this one. What it means is like the driver is still looking this one. Like it's like it clicked it and then it is still here. Okay, Now you want to do an operation like this one. Okay, you want to change the focus to this one where you are going to do some operations. Okay, how do you do it? Is it's exactly the same thing. How we did the alert. Okay, once you do the click, so it, it is very similar to this one, but you have to do some because the alert is the only imagine this one. Okay, at any point of time, right, as I told you guys before, most of the time alert there will be only one alert will be there, but the windows, right, so when you click this one, what happened, sorry, when you click this one, what happened is like now there is two windows available. Okay, so you want to go back and forth from this window to this window, this window to this window. Okay, so to tell the driver, right, okay, go to this window and then come to this window again. Let's see, where is it gone? Yeah, go to this window, go to this child window, back and forth, right? If you want to do this, right, you have to tell the driver, you have to identify this window by some name. How do you do it is like that Selenium itself gives you an option for that one. Okay, so at any point of time, once you open the page, if you want to know the name of the page, right, how the Selenium refers to that page as, means like you can do this like this. Yeah, I'm just going to call it as parent handle here. It's just a normal string. Okay, it's just a name. Okay, that is the reference what the Selenium uses to refer to that particular window. Okay, so I'm just going to print out to you guys and show you guys how it is. It is just usually it is just a number. Otherwise, if they haven't changed it considerably, it should just be a number. Okay, because I haven't done this in a while. Let's see. Okay, you see this number, right, this big number, right, that is what the name of that window is. Okay, so if I get the handle for this one, I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to get the name for this window and then for this window as well. Okay, and then explain to you how I did it. I just want to show that the name is different from each other, even though you can't understand what this value means right now. That is the value what Selenium uses to refer to that one. That is like a name. Okay, it's like our name to the how that is what the browser Selenium uses to call the browser as. Okay, now let's do that one. Okay, first I got the parent window. Okay, I'm just going to remove this for titles for just for a minute. Everything. Okay, once I clicked it, the new window has opened it. Okay, the handlers. Yeah, here it is. Size. I just did the code. I will explain to you guys in a minute. I will show you guys how it works. Okay. Let me type. Look at this one. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. It takes so much time to run. Okay, so 214369, that's the name. Okay, and the title is this one. Okay, why it's happening is like now because you are seeing new title here and it's coming here is like now because Java is executing it much before it is changes. Okay, if I refresh this page, right, it starts with the demo practice page for the switch. It should be there like that. Actually, Java is extracting this one when this is on, but after sometimes it changes to a new title. That's what was happening. Yeah, see this, it has changed. Okay, so oh yeah, I will explain this example. We will use it during the synchronized waits. Okay, for the I will show you guys how to handle this issue at that time. Okay, because if you do an assert now, right, you're obviously going to get an error. Okay, say for example, if this new title, right, what is it? Yeah, this new title here is the correct that is the correct correct message or correct title message, and then you want to assert that. Okay, and imagine this demo, this page, right, that is just a temporary title which the developer comes the page actually load, right. Imagine that new title is coming. Okay, but when you want to assert this one, right, assert this new title here, and then you get me the title of which I want to assert the new title here, obviously the test case will fail because Java would have gotten that previous title. Okay, and then using the synchronized wait we can get rid of that error. Okay, so I'll show you guys in the next session how to do that. Okay, but let's concentrate on the windows here. Okay, okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay, now I'm going to click the browser window. Sorry. Okay, what should be? Good. See what the error was. Oh, I clicked the refresh. Okay, in the middle. Okay, that's why it's ready. Okay. Oh yeah, I told you guys, warned you guys before itself, right? Once when the Selenium is actually doing it, right, you can't do any operation like that. What I just did, I can't do a refresh. You are not allowed to touch the browser. That's really important. Okay, because the state will change. The state, when I say the state change means like no, what the driver think the browser is having is different from what actually in the browser is having. Okay, so because when you do any operations directly on the browser, which is the Selenium is controlling, so when the Selenium goes to give some command to the browser and finds out that the state is not the same as where it left it, right, it will throw an error. Okay, it's see, it won't allow you to carry out any operations. Okay, let's do this one again. Yeah. Okay, see the click work properly, and then we got two outputs here. Okay, so this is the handler name, and this was the parent title. Okay, now let's see how many total windows are available. So the total number of windows are available are 2. That is correct actually. I'll show you how I did it. Okay. Now I want to go now from the I told you guys the focus is on this page, right? I want to get the focus to this page. Okay. So, oh yeah, I didn't do the actual focusing part actually. Okay, sorry. So I just need to do anything. Yeah, this will do the actual switch to the child one. Okay, let's go to console again. Function F5. I've clicked it. Okay, once you clicked it, new window has been opened. Right. Now one. Okay, that's fine. Now the switch has happened. Now let's see what the window is. Okay. See this one, right? Okay. So the parent handler was this. The parent handler name is this one. ID is this one, and obviously it is different from for the child. Okay, and then the child title is this one, and the parent title was this one. Okay, so you can confirm it by here. Okay, you see this free QA automation tools. We know why this is saying new title here. Okay, so that is how you do the switch between the multiple windows. Okay, now let's see what I did. Okay, now first this code, right? I told you guys to get the name of the existing window. To get the handler, don't call it a name. Just for your reference, I told you name. They call it as usually the handler. Handler means the literal meaning itself is handler. Okay, so how do you say that? How do you give an expression? Okay, for the Selenium, for the driver, the handler for that browser is there is a value for it. If you want to get that handler means like no, if you want to get the name of the using what index, what ID it accesses that specific window. If you want to know that means like no, all you have to do is like no driver dot get window handle. If you do that means like no what window is currently in the focus, right? It will give you that that Windows handler. Obviously when you haven't done any operation, right, it will be the home page, the page which you have lastly visited. Okay, where the driver is residing. Okay, where the browser is currently, which web page it is residing, right? That web page will be given to you. Okay, so for us we haven't done anything yet. Okay, so it will be giving to for this one the handler for this page. Okay, so once I'm just typing out some information on top of that one. You guys know what it's, right? Okay, now once I click that one, right, so a new window has been opened, and I'll do this after some time. Okay, I'm just going to do this. All these are Selenium errors actually. Okay. We can get rid of the errors. I mean, when I say get rid of, we can turn off those errors. Actually, that level of logging. Okay, and then those errors will go. Okay. Now, so before I do I haven't done the click operation yet. So before the click operation, the total number of windows available is 1. That is true because there is only one window here. Okay, but when you do the click operation, the number of windows available for you is 2. Okay, so that's what it will record. Okay, now let's see what I did here. Okay, so remember this, to get the handler of that window, all you have to do is like no, in the driver you have to do get window handle. Okay, So it's really simple. If you do plural means like no, it will give you all the handlers available. Okay, so if you do this get window handle, right, it will give you only for the handler for the window which is in the focus. If you do get window handles, right, it will give you all, obviously it won't give a string, it will give you a collection of string. Okay, it will give you all the handlers that are available. Okay, so you can click this one how many times you want. Okay, let's see. If I'm not sure if it opens multiple windows. Okay, so it does open multiple windows, right? Okay, yeah. See, it's 5 because 5 new window has been opened. Okay, so if you want to get the handler for all the existing windows means like now you just need to put a plural in the end. Okay, get window handles, it will give you a collection. I think it is a list collection, I think list of strings. Handles, once again I think I came inside handle, I want to go inside handles. No, it's a set. Okay, it's a set of strings. It means that it's a collection of strings. Okay, so oh yeah, I know why is that because in the list there can be duplicate elements, but in the set there can't be duplicate elements. That is because handlers name itself by name itself right now it is a unique element. That is why they have used a set. Oh, it's clever. Okay, so yeah, so all you have to do is like get window handles and then check the count of it. Okay, because if how many handles it gives you, right, that many number of windows are open. So I'm just checking the size of that set, and if the size of the set is 5 means there are 5 windows available. Okay, that's what I'm doing it here. So what I'm doing in the next step is like now I'm going through so what I did here was like now I what was the logic here is like now I opened clicked only one window here. Okay, so what I did here is like now I'm getting all the Windows handler. I'm going through each Windows handler one by one. I know what is a parent handler. Okay, I want to know the name of the child now. Okay, so I know there are 2 windows available. I know the name of the parent. I want to know the name of the other window. Okay, so how did I do it is like now for each time what it does is like now handle if it equals to the parent handle means I don't want to know because I don't want because I already know the parent handler's name. Okay, so don't go inside. That is what the negation is for. If the handle is not equal to parent handle means like it means that it is a child handle. Okay, then it will come inside. Okay, then it will print out the handlers here. Okay, so how do you actually switch to the child handle is like now it's exactly like alert. In alert what we did was driver.switch2.alert, right? Here because it's a window I have to give dot window and then I have to give the handler to which I want to jump to. Okay, so that is how you do it. Okay, it's just driver dot switch to dot alert like that. Here it's window. Okay, in the window I want to just give the handler, I want to tell the name of the window where I want to jump to. Name means according to the Selenium it's handler. Okay, it's a handler ID. Okay, we can call it whatever we want. It is. Okay, so we want to jump to that one. Okay, so that is how I jumped it. So when I do actually did the jump, I get the new handler name. I get the title of it, and then it is telling me the title is actually the child handle. Okay, if I want to go back to my previous window means like no, it's really simple. All I have to do is like no, here I have to go. So I haven't done the switch yet. I'm going to do the switch. Driver dot switch to dot window and which handler it is. It's because we have initially itself we have recorded what is the parent handler is. Okay, when we open the project, so when we started the operation. Okay, as simple as this one. Okay, So let's execute this one. So what I'm expecting is like, no, first time it me telling, what is the name of it? First time it will tell me demo practice page, and the second time it will tell me free automation, and the third time it will tell me the new title, that crap actually. Okay, so let's run this one. I'm just not going to debug it, I'm going to run it directly. Yeah, I think it was too quick actually. This was, that's what I'm just going to introduce it. See all these problems, right? Okay, I'll tell you guys what the issue was, and then I'll tell you in the because once we see the synchronized way, you will see how to get rid of the issue. This is not the correct way, but this is just temporary solution. I'll tell you guys what it is. Okay, so what happening is like, now what happened here is, right, because earlier when I was debugging, right, I was doing step by step. Okay, I was giving myself enough time for the browser to load. Okay, so what happened here is like, now it did go to the child window, but the title is empty here. Okay, there is no title here. The reason is like, now because when the Selenium was executing trying to get that, when the Selenium issued the browser, okay, give me the title, right, the browser page was still loading. Okay, and then the browser would have told that, okay, I don't have any title, that's why you're seeing an empty tag. So we want to wait till the page loads. Okay, all this issue will get solved in the next session when we see the how do you do the waits. Okay, so I'm just introducing what this line of code means. Like, no, this is Java code, this is not a Selenium code. Okay, so what Java will do is like, no, it will tell JVM that, okay, go to sleep for 2 seconds, don't do anything, because this automation will go to sleep for 2 seconds, but the browser is independent of the automation. It is a separate, it's not run by JVM. Okay, that will keep on running, the page will be still loading. Okay, I think 2 seconds is enough for the page to load. Let me run this one. I mean, it worked actually, because the reason is like, now we were able to switch to the parent, and that is the reason you are seeing the different title in the end. Yeah, that was enough space. Okay, so first time when there was only one window, and this is the parent handler's name, and this is the parent handler's title. Okay, now once I do the click, there were two windows available, and this is the child windows handler, and the name of the parent and the title is free QA. Now again, when I did the switch to the parent handle, right, and then when I got the title of the current window, it is telling me, because get title, I am not doing any special things, I'm just asking driver what is the title of the current window, what is the title of the current window. So when I did the title of the current window, it has gone back to the parent one. Okay, so how I did it is, because I know the parent handle, I know the window where I want to jump to. I just told Selenium, can you please jump to this window. Okay, driver dot switch to dot window, and this is the window I want. But if you give any kind of crap, because it is a string, if you do this, right, obviously it will result in an exception, because it will say the Windows is not available. I mean, that is what will happen if you close the window and try to switch to that window. Okay, let me do that. Okay, yeah, this one's exception, obviously an exception. Okay, what I'm going to do here is now is like, now I'm not going to explain about the how do you handle exactly the same. Okay, there is literally no difference at all. And between the window and the message window and the tab, it's exactly the same thing. There will be a handler for the page, and then there will be a handler for the page which you just opened it. Again, when you click this one, right, browser tab, right, again the focus will be on this page itself. Okay, if you want to switch to this one, you have to use the handler. You have to get all the handlers and go to the child handler and go jump to this page. And once you're done with that one, you can come back to the parent window itself, parent tab itself. It's exactly like this how you do it. All you have to do is like now see in this example, right? It's really simple, okay? All I have to do is the click column, I have to change the click, okay? I have to change this click to the browser tab, okay? It will work exactly the same. I don't need to do any modification at all, okay? Now how it opened a separate window, right? Like now it will open the new tab, and then I will get the exact same name. See, so it's here, okay? Let me run this one, show you guys. Click has happened, new windows have been opened. See the focus has changed again. Yeah, something went wrong. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, it goes this thing. You guys are still here, right? Yeah. Just want to confirm I'm not talking to myself.
Yes.
No, because I was about to exit the Skype. Okay, see this one. It's exactly the same. I didn't do any change the way I handled the windows. All I did was like just change the button alone, and then I didn't change didn't do any change at all here. Okay, because it's exactly the same way. How do you handle multiple windows, multiple tabs? For the browser, it is the same thing. Okay, for you it might look different, but for the Selenium and the browser, it's the same thing. Okay, either it's with a new window or else it's a new tab or else the window inside a window. It's the same thing for the browser. Okay, this is how you handle it, and then you can handle it however you want. Okay. When we did this one, right, multiple clicks, right? Oh yeah. Okay. I clicked multiple clicks. Okay. Now once the window is open, right? So let's do okay. And then check the size, and then I'm going to close all the windows apart from the parent window. Okay. So how do I do it? Is the windows. Okay. Simple, okay, because don't do quit will close all the windows. Okay, so I just want to close one by one. Okay, and then I will do the how many handles are available. Because the size will keep on reducing one by one after each close. See, it has opened so many tabs. Okay, and the current account is 9. Okay, initially it was 1 and now it's 9. Now what I'm going to do is like now I'm going to close all the tabs apart from the parent tab. Okay. See, all the tabs got disappeared. So it was fast actually. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, because I went through tab by tab, and then if you look at this one, right, the count was keep on reducing because in the for loop I've typed okay, once you do this operation, close operation, and just tell me how many windows are available. Initially it was 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the end. Okay, that's all to it. Okay, and then again I'm going to the changing the focus back to the parent window. Okay, this is how you do the multiple windows operation. Usually in your testing, right, I mean, again, that will be a rare circumstance, but you have to use logic to handle that one. Okay, in most of the circumstance, right, you will use only one tab, I mean two tabs at the time. When I say two tabs, right, okay, you do this, okay, you will do operations in this one, close this page, and then only you will do you will there will be a requirement to open another one. There will never be I mean there will be very rarely a requirement where you have to do it, have all the child tabs who keep it opened. Okay, so usually you click this tab and then do whatever operations you want to do on this tab, and then close it and then go back to the parent window, start doing it. Okay, usually that will be the operations. But if you want to handle this is not really uncommon, but it can come. Okay, if you want to handle multiple, more than one child windows, means like one or two more than one or two child windows, like you have to come up with the logic. Usually the titles will be different from each other, so what you have to do is like you have to associate. Okay, you have to do a logic in this one, saying that okay, for this title this is the handler, for this title this is the handler, and then from that there onwards you can easily know, because from the by looking at the handler you can't tell which window it is, whether it's a parent window or a first child window or second window. But looking at the title you can tell which window it is. So you have to come up with a two-dimensional or any kind of logic, whichever you want. Okay, that is what the programming is all about. Okay, because once you learn all the necessary tools, then the most important thing after is logic. Okay, using logic only you can write the programs, you can do the coding. Okay, so we have to come up with the way. Okay, we are not going to discuss that one in this one. Okay, so yeah, that's all to it actually. Okay, the main let us do a recap on this one. Okay, sure. Okay, all the windows in the browser.
Excuse me, Bala.
Yeah.
So if I have this window with like admin and like password and username,
Yeah.
It will be also handled by alert or the web like window.
No, I didn't understand the question exactly.
So for the camera.
Yeah.
For the camera, for example, if I'm gonna log in and then I need to give the username.
Okay.
And
Now that
password.
is usually a window actually. Usually that will be a window, because as an alert itself, right now, it depends actually, because it is not very wise to do using, you get the the multiple inputs in the alert. But if they have done it in the alert itself, means like usually they wouldn't have. If it is not alert, means it will be in a window actually. Let me think actually. I think it used to be window actually. I think in the on view. You mean you're talking about the firmware, right?
Yes, about the firmware. Yes.
Yeah.
No, not the lesson view, because
Not
I'm
the
not
lesson
working
view,
on that. Yeah, but I can check by myself. No
Yeah,
worries.
check it out. I mean, if it is a window, means it is pretty simple actually. Okay, you
Yeah.
can go to that window and do the the send keys and everything. If it is an alert itself, means like then we have to come up with a bit of a thinking actually, how to handle, how to give inputs in the alert actually, because the send keys and everything. Okay, we can talk about it. Yeah, in the next session, just check it and then tomorrow message me. We will talk about it tomorrow itself. Okay.
No, but I found kind of how to overcome this, because basically I'm using the like API to get into the IP address. You have like IP address with like admin colon, so admin and then IP address, and then so for the URL.
Oh, okay. Directly you can give the password in the link itself.
So
yeah.
Yes, I can like kind of overcome that.
I think that is what we used to do. I think actually to overcome the you're right actually. That's what we used to do actually. I think I vaguely remember that one actually. Yeah. Okay. That is the logic. You see, that's the most important thing. You can handle that issue however you want. Okay, the way you did it, right, that's much faster actually. You don't need to go to that page and then give input and then log in. If you give that link directly, it will do the login for yourself, right? So it saves time. That's a better way of doing it. But try to do it in this way. It's also using the URL also. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. What we were doing? We were doing a recap, right? Okay. Yeah. All the windows in the browser, right? All the windows. All the pages, okay. Pages in the we have a unique handler ID name, okay. Next, Selenium users to refer to that particular window, okay. Now we can record handlers and switch between the windows using the handlers. Okay, so when I say record the handlers means you have to save the parent handlers, what is a handler of the parent window, and then by saving it you can switch back to the parent window whenever you want. Okay, that's what I mean. And then yeah, these are there was only two things which you most of the time you need. So, okay, handle gives the windows handle for the window that is in focus. Okay, which the driver is currently pointing to. Okay, if you want to get the handler. Okay, if it handles means okay. Only one more thing additionally is there. Same thing as alert. Okay, how do you switch between the windows is okay. Yeah, the name is a okay, that's all to it. Okay, so it's really simple. Okay, once you work out it a couple of times, you will remember it, understand it very clearly. It's not a tough topic to understand. Okay, what will be a bit tough is like, no, it's what the handling the multiple windows, coming up with the logic. Okay, there at that point, right, there is no coding, there is no how do you say, academic skills record. Only their record is like, the coding skills. When I say coding skills, it's like aptitude skills, solving skill is only record, which is most important thing, because the knowledge bit, right, the programming knowledge, right, you can refer to Google at any time you want, but the programming knowledge you can refer to Google anytime you want, but but the actual aptitude skills, right, that is what you have to develop, because that is where you won't get the help from the Google. Okay, okay guys, I will speak to you guys again on Wednesday. Okay, we will see the synchronized way. That will be the last topic in the Selenium. Okay, guys, again I will speak to you guys on Wednesday. Okay,
Right, thanks, Bala.
Thank you, Bala.
Thank you.